McClymonds and nice ladies. Samantha McClymont, 35 years of age today. Just a little older than you, Matthew Dickerson.
Just about the same age, it sounds like to me.
Yeah, house too. I was watching an old episode of Mission Impossible. Not watching, it was just there in the background. They have had a house in this episode that's yours. Now, this is a series that was created years and years ago, a couple of decades ago, with the tall, lanky Peter Graves, Australian.
So you're talking about the TV series, not the movies.
Series, not the movie. Oh, the movies are, anyway. They have this house with the lights that go on from room to room as you went from room to room, doors that automatically opened, and a wireless, as it was then, turned on and off at a clap of a hand.
Yeah.
How far, and I mean, the houses that we have today, you don't have to have doorknobs, do you?
No, you don't. If you don't need to, there's a whole range of things there. And
so is it voice controlled?
You can do voice control, but normally it's some sort of biometric fingerprints, eye sensor, some part of your body is often used to go through doors, and that's what we do with ours, or even your smartphone. The smartphone is becoming more and more central to do a whole range of things, to start your car, to get through doors in your house, to turn on your alarm, to turn off your alarm.
To open the pet door, as we talked about.
To open the pet door, that's exactly right, yeah. So the smartphone has become, even though biometrics are good, the smartphone seems to be more central because it's universal. It's a bit trickier to get things to make sure it gets your fingerprint right or your eye print or your face. I mean, we've got some face scanners at our work, for example. You've got to get your face just at the right angle, and they're very reliable, but it's a bit easier when you just pull your phone out of your pocket or, in some circumstances, just shake it near a sensor. But that was a bit visionary from Mission Impossible all those years ago.
There's no more visionary. If it doesn't blow up in Hollywood, they don't want to know about it these
You're right.
days. Now, you're talking about temperatures and checking someone's temperature in COVID-19, quite appropriate, Matthew Dickerson. How can I get okay with someone coming to my house and know their temperature's okay?
Well, we've talked about some different doorbells before. Some of them are quite clever. They've got video feeds. You can get the doorbell to ring your mobile phone wherever you might be in the world. So they're all very clever, but they still involve you opening the door when there's someone finally there. Yeah. Obviously, with COVID-19, I can see this sort of application not just being in homes, but being in small businesses, doctor surgeries, that type of thing, that when you ring the doorbell in this scenario, a new doorbell's come out that...
What do you mean ring the doorbell?
Press the button on a doorbell.
Okay. Ding, ding. What happens then?
Well, as soon as that happens then, it actually reads the temperature of the person who rings the doorbell. When you're
either... fingertip?
No, it does it like when you go into one of the hospitality places where they hold a temperature sensor at your face. So you're looking at the doorbell, it will do a temperature sensor read from the doorbell itself because you're looking straight at it. But then what it does is it feeds through that temperature to your smartphone. So in other words, I'm sitting inside, relaxing on the lounge, doorbell rings, I open up, I can see the video feed. Oh, it's Richard Perno coming to see me. Oh, his temperature's 39.6. Sorry, Richard, I'm not going to let you in today. That's too hot. You might have something wrong. Go and get tested. So the idea is that we don't even want to come into contact with people that might have a temperature, because as soon as I've opened the door, if I do that and then read someone's temperature, well, I've had to stand pretty close to them to do that. Yeah. And so when
can't you open the door automatically with your phone?
You can open the door automatically, but I don't want to open the door automatically unless I know who's there.
Right.
And then
my image comes up on your phone.
On your phone, exactly right.
You've got this dirty great camera staring at me as well.
Exactly right. But even when I then want to go and check your temperature before I allow you in, then I'm still coming close to you to hold a temperature sensor. So this is just going that one step further. I know who it is. I don't even have to be in the house. I can be at work, for example, and a courier could turn up and I say, sure, I'll open the door for you, just drop the parcel inside. And by the way, I've got cameras watching you if you go in the house and start raiding my fridge. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
and there's a dirty great hole in the ground with a cover over it.
Yeah, so just careful where you walk. So the idea here, though, might also be with small businesses, so a small retail environment, or I say a doctor surgery. When you come to the doctor surgery, you may be coming because you're sick. Reading the temperature, well, okay.
You don't go to the doctor surgery because you're well.
Not really, no. But you might be saying, for example, let's feed people with a temperature off into a different area, make sure we keep them isolated from other people. So it's basically a way to temperature check people without having to have someone stand there.
This is a real thing?
This is a real thing. It's available right now. Yeah. And there's so much development happening. With COVID-19, there's all these things that we're seeing coming out now because technology is developing so quickly, because there's suddenly a new problem to solve. So people that are involved in technology say, how can we solve that problem? And so we're seeing all this development around just basically COVID-19 solutions.
Now, it's called Eti, is it?
This is basically, and I don't like to talk about brand names too much, but basically there's more than one brand.
Okay.
Yeah, so there are a number of brands out there of these electronic doorbells, video doorbells, and some of those are actually now incorporating temperature sensors into them.
Okay, so you buy the one doorbell.
You buy a doorbell that's
Can
basically...
you select the tone?
You can select the tone, you can select how it rings, you can select. There's so many things
But
because
you just screw it onto your doorway or something, do you?
essentially you'll do that. It's a fairly large size unit, most of these, because they've got that video feed in them, and you can actually have a two-way conversation. So it's probably, let's just guess, maybe I'm just holding my hand out here, 15 centimetres square, that sort of size.
Comfortable.
That you'll mount that somewhere. Obviously, it needs some power to go to. Some of them run on batteries, but the batteries don't last that long, so normally you wire it in.
So you connect it up.
And then basically once you've got that, it's connected to the Wi-Fi of your house, which then can connect to your phone wherever you might be.
So you can read the temperature of your guest.
Read the temperature of your guests before they come into the house.
So can it come with a camera?
It's got a camera already built into
So
it.
it's already, so you don't have to worry about a monitor system.
It's got that, and it
So
feeds
it's
that.
a CCTV in itself. So
It feeds to your phone, so
Right.
it's not other cameras around the house. It's basically feeds that image straight to your phone, and you can have that two-way conversation. You can actually have that conversation back and forth, and the person doesn't know whether you're in the house or you're in Timbuktu.
really,
Yeah.
see, COVID-19 has its ups, I suppose. But I think
Always looking for a positive.
it has its down, and you can purchase these in Australia,
Yeah, they're available now.
so you can check the temperature of anybody who arrives. Strange man, this bloke.
Breakfast is Tech Talk, Tech Talk, Tech Talk, Tech Talk, Tech Talk, Tech Talk, Tech Talk with Matthew Dixon.